The morning shift. What happens when you start drinking smoothies? Let me ask you something. When was the last time you gave your body something that required almost no effort to digest, but delivered maximum nutrients? Most people wake up and immediately stress their metabolism. Coffee on an empty stomach, refined carbohydrates, sugary cereal, toast with processed spreads, and then they wonder why by 11 a.m. they feel tired, bloated, foggy. Now imagine something different. A glass filled with living nutrients, fiber intact, phytonutrients preserved, natural enzymes active. This is where smoothies enter the conversation, but not as a trend, not as a diet trick, not as an Instagram aesthetic, as a biological tool. Because when you blend whole fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, herbs, you are not just mixing flavors, you are altering physiology. What makes a smoothie different from juice? Here is the key distinction most people miss. Juicing removes fiber. Smoothies preserve it. Fiber is not just roughage, it is metabolic intelligence. Soluble fiber forms a gel-like structure in the gut, slowing glucose absorption. Insoluble fiber feeds the microbiome and improves bowel motility. When you drink juice, glucose hits your bloodstream rapidly. When you drink a properly built smoothie, glucose is released gradually. This changes insulin dynamics. This changes energy stability. This changes fat storage patterns. And this is only the beginning. The first system that responds, your digestive tract. The human digestive system is energy expensive. Breaking down dense meals requires gastric acid, pancreatic enzymes, bile release, peristaltic motion, hormonal signaling. When you blend food, you mechanically pre-digest it. Your stomach still works, but it works smarter, not harder. This is why many people report less bloating, less heaviness, faster bowel movements, reduced acid reflux. But the real story goes deeper, because inside your intestines live trillions of bacteria, and they are listening. Smoothies and the microbiome. When you combine leafy greens, berries, flax seeds, chia, oats, kefir, or plant proteins, you are feeding microbial diversity. Diversity is resilience. A diverse microbiome produces short-chain fatty acids, especially butyrate, anti-inflammatory compounds, neurotransmitter precursors, immune-modulating signals. Did you know that nearly 70% of immune cells are located around the gut? When you improve gut integrity, you influence systemic inflammation, and inflammation is the silent accelerator of aging, weight gain, brain fog, joint pain, and skin problems. A smoothie is not magic, but it is strategic. The blood sugar equation. One of the most underestimated benefits of smoothies, when built correctly, is blood sugar stabilization. If you combine fruit, a protein source, healthy fats, and fiber, you create a balanced macronutrient delivery system. Glucose rises slowly, insulin responds moderately, energy remains steady. Compare that to a croissant and coffee. Spike, crash, cravings, repeat. Over time, unstable glucose patterns contribute to insulin resistance, visceral fat accumulation, hormonal imbalance. A daily smoothie can interrupt that cycle. The brain effect. Here's something fascinating. Your brain consumes about 20% of your total energy, but it does not like chaos. It prefers steady fuel. When blood sugar fluctuates wildly, cognitive clarity drops. When micronutrient intake is insufficient, neurotransmitter production declines. Many smoothie ingredients are directly linked to brain function. Blueberries, rich in anthocyanins. Spinach, folate and magnesium. Avocado, healthy fats for neuronal membranes. Flax seeds, omega-3 precursors. Cocoa, polyphenols improving blood flow. Within weeks, many people report improved focus, reduced afternoon fatigue, better mood stability, not because smoothies are superfoods, but because the brain finally receives what it needs consistently. And this is only day one, because the real transformation begins after consistent intake, and that's where we're going next. Detoxification, what smoothies really do to your liver and cells. Let's clarify something important. Your body already detoxifies itself. You do not need a detox tea. You do not need starvation. You do not need extremes. You need support. The liver performs over 500 functions, among them processing toxins, regulating cholesterol, converting hormones, managing glucose, producing bile. But detoxification is a two-phase process. Phase 1 converts toxins into intermediate compounds. Phase 2 neutralizes them and prepares them for elimination. Both phases require nutrients, and this is where smoothies shine. The nutrients that power detox. Leafy greens provide chlorophyll. Chlorophyll may assist in binding certain toxins and supporting liver enzyme systems. Cruciferous vegetables like kale contain sulforaphane, known to stimulate detox pathways. Citrus fruits provide vitamin C, crucial for antioxidant regeneration. Beets contain betaine, supporting methylation processes. Turmeric contains curcumin, modulating inflammatory signaling. When these are combined in a smoothie, you deliver antioxidants, polyphenols, fiber, micronutrients in one digestible format. Oxidative stress and cellular protection. Every day, your cells experience oxidative stress from pollution, processed food, stress hormones, UV exposure, poor sleep. Oxidative stress damages cellular membranes and DNA. Antioxidants help neutralize free radicals. Berries are among the most antioxidant-dense foods available. Adding them daily creates cumulative protection. This is not an instant change. It is a compounding effect, like investing, but biologically. Smoothies and hormonal balance. Hormones depend on stable blood sugar, adequate fats, micronutrient sufficiency, and low inflammation. Women often report reduced PMS symptoms when they increase fiber intake. Why? Because fiber assists in binding excess estrogen in the digestive tract. Men benefit as well, especially when reducing visceral fat. Smoothies rich in fiber and protein may support reduced cravings, lower abdominal fat, improved insulin sensitivity. Hormonal health begins in the gut and liver. Smoothies nourish both. Weight management. Why smoothies change body composition, not just the scale. Most people misunderstand weight loss. They focus on calories. They focus on restriction. They focus on short-term drops on the scale. But the body is not a math equation. It is a hormonal ecosystem. And smoothies, when built correctly, influence that ecosystem in profound ways. Satiety hormones, the hidden regulators. Hunger is not weakness. Hunger is chemistry. Two major hormones regulate appetite. Ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and leptin, the satiety hormone. Highly processed foods confuse this system. They digest quickly, they spike glucose, they drop rapidly, they stimulate cravings again. A properly structured smoothie does something different. When you combine fiber, protein, and healthy fats, you activate stretch receptors in the stomach. You slow gastric emptying. You stabilize glucose. This increases satiety signaling. You feel full longer, not because of willpower, but because of physiology. Fiber and fat loss. Fiber is often overlooked in fat metabolism, yet high-fiber diets are consistently associated with lower body fat, reduced waist circumference, and improved insulin sensitivity. Why? Because fiber slows glucose absorption, reduces insulin spikes, improves gut bacteria balance, and enhances short-chain fatty acid production. Short-chain fatty acids, especially butyrate, influence metabolic flexibility, your ability to switch between burning glucose and burning fat. Most people today are metabolically rigid. They burn sugar constantly. They rarely tap into fat stores. Daily smoothies with seeds, greens, berries, and plant proteins help retrain this system, not overnight, but progressively. The visceral fat factor. Visceral fat is not cosmetic. It is inflammatory. It surrounds organs. It produces cytokines. It interferes with insulin signaling. High-fiber, antioxidant-rich diets are associated with reduced visceral fat accumulation. Smoothies become an easy compliance tool. Instead of skipping vegetables, instead of under-eating micronutrients, you deliver a concentrated dose in one meal.
consistency becomes easier, and consistency is everything. Protein, the missing ingredient. Here is where many smoothie drinkers go wrong. They make fruit-only blends. That becomes liquid sugar. But when you add Greek yogurt, plant-based protein, collagen peptides, or nut butters, you change the macronutrient profile. Protein increases thermogenesis. Protein preserves lean muscle mass. Muscle mass increases basal metabolic rate. If weight loss happens without muscle preservation, metabolism slows. A balanced smoothie protects muscle while supporting fat reduction. This is body recomposition, not just weight loss. Cravings and dopamine. Highly processed food manipulates dopamine pathways. Sugar plus fat plus salt equals reward loop. Smoothies built from whole foods help reset taste perception.